What up, guys? Good to see you all. Yeah, it has absolutely been a minute. Yeah, it's just been wild here, guys. Got to make sure I get back into this for my channel members. Good to see you all. Man, you guys flying in here already. Yeah, surprised everybody. I was waiting to make sure that the children were like actually asleep before like pressing the button, because knowing my luck, I'd like hit the button to start roster reviews and then Charlie would wake up. So yeah, I mean, we're here, guys. Hopefully it goes well. Oh no, definitely the Jedi Allies one. It's not in the PC client. I'd have to pop open my BlueStacks, but I have been very heavily debating that bundle. Particularly because like it with the announcement of GL Ahsoka, the raid happening as soon as it is, I was definitely kind of caught by surprise. I thought I had another month to prepare for the raid. Because if I had another month, I'd be in a lot better shape in terms of being able to finish off a few of those things. But with the, it being as soon as it is, I feel like I need to get on top of it. And then them saying, oh, Ahsoka's coming, I'm like, crap, like just even more, like I just did my Gungans to Relic 7. You guys will see that in the, account update. But like got my Gungans done. So we're just waiting on Jar Jar. I have signal data, but it's just not for what I need it to be. The R9 requirement, I actually love it. I think it's very good. I feel like they missed the boat with a bunch of these. That they should have had Relic 9 Rex for GLs before. I mean, like, I'm just going back to, you think Lord Vader has 4 Relic 8 requirements, and that between Kenobi, Leia, and Jabba, they have the same amount of Relic 8s as Lord Vader. Like, it's about time that they started pumping those things up, because it's getting a little bit, I don't want to say too easy to get GLs, but if they kept it like they did with Jabba and Leia, the players at the end game, like imagine they said Snips is Relic 7. I mean, how many of us have her at Relic 7? So that's kind of why I think that they did this, is they recognized that a lot of us have her at least at Relic 7, if not higher. Yeah, Dr. Afra not happening for, I don't know, 5 years at this point. I'll be the only guy in Kyber 1 without Dr. Afra. That should be my goal, is like check Kyber 1 regularly and see if like I'm the only one who doesn't have her. So we're going to get right into, I'm just going to start doing get some channel member reviews, get those just started, because that's exactly why we're doing this live stream. We are not going to Relic 9 Wampa yet. We're not close to doing that yet. All right, P.S. Oakley. All right, man. So Patrick, what are we doing here, man? What's the game plan with the account? So we're missing Leia, and we're missing, you're just missing Leia. We've got Sith Eternal, we've got the rest of them. How close are you to GL Leia? Okay, so Captain Rex is there. Lobot's not done. Okay, Drogon's not yet done either. All right, so we still have a little bit to go here for Leia. Is Leia the goal? I'm just trying to see if is that the plan? We've got Leviathan, Executor, Profundity. Getting close to Reva. Leia is close, but don't have the Zetas at this point. Okay. So if we're short on Zetas, then let's try and see if we can find some other things to work on here. I mean, your ship's looking really good shape. The only one that's really dying here is the TIE Defender, which is unfortunate. So if I was you, Patrick, so the first thing I'm looking at here is these ships like the Raven's Claw, the Star Fortress, like I'd bump there. Same with TIE Reaper, like I'd just go farm them at this point. Just go farm those. You need to have those ships at 7-star just because of the size of your account. You kind of want them. Now you're gonna get Reva. then you said Leia, so you need a lot of Zetas. So let's kind of check through the roster. Let's see what's at the bottom here. So, all right, so you could do Coyote Mundi for sure. I feel like that should be a priority requirement or a priority like farm for you. Once you get him to 7-star, I'd relic him immediately. You've got the Zeta on him. Similar situation with Iden. If you can afford it, I'd relic her, 1 for the ship, and 2 because you've got the Zeta and an Omicron on her, so that kind of makes sense. Other characters that we could potentially think about here. You could even just like upgrade your Marin a little bit more. I'm trying to see, because you bought a lot of the Lightspeed bundle, so I'm just looking to see where we can maybe invest some resources into that you don't necessarily. Vandor would be another one. Maybe up his relic levels a little bit. Maybe even just focusing on some of the raid recs. You know, like B1, B2, some of those separatist characters. If you could bump their requirements up for the raid, that'll save you the Zetas. I think if you're in that Zeta crunch, I don't know that it's going to be smart to try to do something crazy outside of Reva and going to get Leia. But if you could just make some of these separatists a little bit, you know, boost their numbers up a little bit, that definitely helps with the peer pressure, Dank. Definitely helps. Gosh. But, you know, Patrick, I think if you do some separatists or even like some Galactic Republic relics while you're waiting around for Zetas, I think that'll be a smart play on your part. I think that'll be one of the smartest plays. Because I think otherwise you're just going to end up like if you, and this goes for everybody, just if you're in a crunch for Zetas, you need to find the characters where you've invested the resources and you just need to add gear, right? Like look for those situations, which I was kind of looking at down here. Otherwise, I'm kind of looking at your, like even your Luminara or like your Snips. You could take her to Relic 7 just because you can, you know what I mean? So just think through those characters like that where you've kind of invested those resources, take them to the next level, and that'll save you a lot of Zetas. Otherwise, I will tell you that I would make sure you finish off the ships. Right, I'd finish starring all your ships. Like your goal at 10 million should be that you have no ships left to farm. Right, you don't want any ships left to farm whatsoever, regardless of, especially like the Star Fortress, man. That's a really good ship. Like you want that ship. And do you have the? I didn't even check. Yes, you do have the Common Pants. I'd make sure we finish that ship too. So just yeah. If you can do those things, Patrick, I think we'll be in good shape here, man. I think we'll be in very good shape here. You have a very good account. You're at 10.3 million. Like you're up there. We just need to make sure that we button those things up here and there. Also, don't be afraid to just like work on some of the Leia Rex like CLS, bump him up to Relic 7. So yeah, man, I like it. I do get what you're saying though. Like even I'm short on Zetas. Like I do not have enough Zetas for Jar Jar right now. So I need to get above, like I don't have 60 Zetas yet. So I need to get 60 Zetas before, I need to get to 80 before I can even start thinking about what to equip because I want to save for Jar Jar in case he comes back at a moment's notice. So that's kind of like, just to give you even insight into my own account there, that I'm kind of looking at that and saying, yes, I need to, you know, take advantage of those things. Hugh Heath, I think is the next channel member that I see. Again, guys, if you're new to roster reviews here, we do channel members first, and then we'll flip into the free reviews. Obviously, if you do a super chat, you jump into the queue with channel members. All right, so next we have Hugh Heath here. Almost finished Jedi Master Luke. Gonna get Queen Amidala. Wondering if I should get that team. All right, so you almost have JML. So... almost finished JML. Where is... you say JML or Jedi Knight Luke? CLS, Chewbacca, 3PO, Old Ben. Yeah, did I just completely miss Jedi Knight Luke when I was scrolling? So you do not have Jedi Knight Luke yet. Okay, Jedi Knight Luke's the last wreck. Okay, that's a big wreck. It's a very big wreck. Okay, so you are Zeta poor, you said. So after JML, you said, hold on, I gotta scroll back up. Gonna get Queen Amidala, wondering if I should get her team. So, yeah, here's the thing. Queen Amidala is gonna be 3 Zetas. You need 2 for Qui-Gon and another 1 for Padawan Obi-Wan. So right there, you're looking at 6 Zetas between 3 characters. The other thing to think about here, right, just kind of depends on like what your appetite is, but you know, those 2 guys are not even yet farmable, right? We're still how far away from those 2 characters being farmable. You know, I'm not going to tell you you can't go for her, but if you're Zeta poor, I don't know that going after a conquest unit is the best use of resources. Just thinking out loud for you. Because where you're going to run into problems is, like, I wouldn't work on, for an account like of your size, I would not work on Queen Amidala until you're ready to get Master Qui-Gon and Padawan Obi-Wan. I just don't know that you have the capability in this account to, unless you're planning to wail on these guys and wail on the gear and wail on whatever Zetas you can get, I don't know that it's the best decision to spend Zetas on her. At least, like, from what I've seen, like, even just to, you know, give you a quick glimpse into, like, my past GACs here. Like, my Queen Amidala team, my first opponent didn't even attack, so, like, that's not helping at all. But, my opponents have not really struggled with the Queen Amidala team. And I'm using it with, like, the Bad Batch and a Datacron, and, like, they're just going through it. So I think unless you have that team, like, I think I would wait to gear her until you have the team. Unless she's really good in the raid, and then maybe switch, but for now, I'd kind of hold off there. But once you get JML, the only other thing I'd potentially consider for you is trying to get Jedi Knight Revan if you can. I'd finish Jedi Knight Revan. He's a fantastic character, one of the most important Jedi in your roster, and will just kind of give you a lot of sense of security with your JML. And then if you do need to split off into 3v3, you've got Jedi Knight Revan there to kind of be a really good support unit for all of your Jedi. So I think after JML, getting Jedi Knight Revan would be a very good side farm, and it's not a lot of gear required. Not a lot of gear. You don't need any Zetas to get through that event. Like, you'll be fine. So that's definitely something just to think about there. Yeah, she definitely, maybe below that she gets holds. It's just for me in K1, I'm not getting anything. But again, I'm competing against guys who actually have that Datacron. Right, so then I saw DRX, I think I might have missed his. Let me see. I don't see your ally code, but I know you're in chat. You probably entered it like a phone, but let me go. I'm pretty sure I have pretty sure I can just grab it here. That's the alt. There we go. All right. Exonics next. And super chats, don't worry, I will get to you guys all in good time. Swiftblade and Talve. Oh god, man. Talvacad. I'm gonna be. There's no way I'm gonna be able to say that well. Oh man. You guys, I am basically illiterate. I don't know if you guys have noticed that over the years, but I am like basically illiterate. All right, so next we got DRX. So finishing Grand Inquisitor, then Gungans because they are mandatory. Levi is ready to unlock in July. As you saw, I proposed to work on Jedi Master Kenobi as the next GL as it Yeah, so I actually, so you're gonna finish your Inquisitors, which is good. Like you're knocking on that doorstep there, and then you said Gungans next. So Gungans, yeah, you're making your progress. They'll be fine. Like I think you'll get them in good time, right? That'll be okay. So as long as so I think the Gungans is good. So then you'll said Levi's gonna be ready to unlock in July. I'm just looking to see what's missing from it. Are you just missing ships? What are you missing for? Oh, are you just like finally ready for the event? Um, okay. So here's Gungans November unlock. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think you'll be fine on your Gungans, and honestly, I'm gonna recommend it. I think if you can stomach it with your Kenobi, potentially relicking your Gungans early will help your raid score. So what I would think you do is, so I do like the Jedi Master Kenobi shout because you are going to get a lot of the requirements for the raid done. You'll get Grandmaster Yoda, you'll get Mace Windu, you'll get I'm trying to think who else is in there. I think Ayla Sakura, Shak T, they're both required for that, you know. So there's what? Is that 4? God, I'm awful. But then the other side of this as well is, yeah, you already have Qui-Gon, so I do like that. And then the other side of that too is you'll be able to boost out your Galactic Republic Jedi when you do have Coyote Mundi ready to unlock, or like ready to 7-star. I would gear him immediately because he's just that important. But yeah, I don't hate the Kenobi shout. The one thing I would say is I would focus on the raid tunes first. So like Grandmaster Yoda, Mace Windu, Shak T, and even potentially maybe get Yoda first and then kind of wait and hold and see which characters are best in the raid and then work on those ones. I do like the Kenobi shout. I think this raid is kind of that time of, if you've put off farming Kenobi, now may be the time to do it because of all the Galactic Republic Jedi you're going to have in the raid. Yeah, because I don't, the only other one, like I'm just looking at your account here, like you do have this Lightspeed bundle. Holy crap. You still need BB-8 though. I mean, gosh, yeah, man. I mean, you could go a million different directions and you probably wouldn't be wrong. Yeah, jeez. I mean, yeah, I think Jedi Master Kenobi makes a ton of sense. The only thing I would say there is, like, you are this close to Rey, aren't you? Like Relic 7, 5s across the board. Yeah, I know. I see this. This is the thing, is I see like you being this close to a Galactic Legend, and to me it makes sense to just like a Relic 7 and a Relic 3. I mean, is it, if he's Relic 3 or 5, I can't remember. But man, I feel like I would do that first personally. But that's just me. I think in the time that you would do that, you would get enough use out of Rey, because you said you have Commander Tano, right? Or you'll be getting Commander Tano. Like, you can slot her in there. So it's just something to consider. Again, I don't hate the Kenobi shout, but if you're that close to Rey, man, I don't know. That would be hard to pass up for me personally. So Rey loves Ben, but she doesn't. It's not that she doesn't need him. Ben makes certain things harder, but like, dude, I don't know. It's Rey. I don't know what to tell you. It's Rey. It's another Galactic Legend. It's a team that your opponent has to figure out how to beat. But otherwise, dude, yeah. Whatever direction you go, I don't think you're going to be wrong. You know, if you need to do it to stay in your guild, you got to do it to stay in your guild. But I would definitely try just to get Rey. I feel like I would do that. I don't know. I hate saying that because I do love your Kenobi plan, but man, like you are that close to a character that is going to benefit you in Conquest, Territory Battles, Territory Wars, Grand Arena. It's just what, I don't know. It's just what makes sense to me. But we can even like chat more, but I think that's kind of, if you don't That's the only change I'd maybe make to your plan, is trying to get her. I would not do any other relic bumps. I would not do any relic bumps if you're in this position and you're in like the position you are with Kenobi and Gungans and Inquisitors. I would just save your signal data. I'd just save it. I think you're better off holding on to it, because you don't want to end up in that position where you're going to, how do I say this? Like, even Malgus. I don't know that you're in a position where spending signal data is a good idea. Because, like, you think with your Inquisitors, right? You don't even have them all at Relic 5 yet, so you need more Relic 5s. Then you need to get Grand Inquisitor to Relic 7, plus 4 other ones to Relic 7. Then get Reva to at least Relic 7. Like, it just, your signal data is going to go away so quickly that I think the best thing to do is just to kind of pause on doing any other relic increases. And that's kind of why my account looks the way that it does, is that I had to wait around to do the relics that I wanted to, so that way I could get to those next farms. And that's just what I think leads to the most success, in my personal opinion. But, you know, I'm not going to tell you you can't, like, I'm not going to say, oh, no, you can't do it, you know. It's just not what I would recommend. That's the best way I'd say it, so. Yeah, don't be afraid to do Rey. I think Rey's a great galactic legend. So, all right, we're scrolling back up here. We've got, geez, ton of you guys in here. All right, so I see Dank Ideals. Let's go Dank with the $10. By the way, Dank was the first one ramping up that peer pressure on me to buy arguably the worst Lightspeed bundle of all time, but now it's like really good. All right, Dank, what are we working with here? Still no 7-star profundity. Respect, my friend. Respect. Holy crap. Okay. So we have a Relic 8 Padawan Obi-Wan already, dude. Holy. What a. Whoa. Man, that's awesome. What kind of mods we rocking on this, dude? Decent speed. Decent offense. Dang, that's awesome. I'm very jealous. I wish mine was Relic 8. Relic 9, Queen Amidala 2. Holy crap. Wow. She's got better mods than mine does. 180 speed is crazy. Hold on. This was, did you rip mods off of Bodhi Rook finally? That is in 380 speed is crazy. We just made her as fast as humanly possible, I'm assuming. Just looking at like the protection, offense, health. So the only thing I would say here, I would kind of tweak her mods around. I don't know that she needs to be 300. I mean, it's awesome that she's 380 speed. And I'm jealous that you could get that fast. But I would maybe move, like, I love this mod. That's a beautiful mod. 15% defense, 27 health. But I would try to look for like a health primary here. She has your Bodhi set. Finally, Bodhi doesn't have good mods. Thank you. That deserves something. Give me 1 second, guys. Finally, my friend. Finally. Prost. So, yeah, the only thing I would say is I'd maybe switch the cross and the circle for, like, health. Only because, like, you're already that fast that I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but, like, you're already so fast that, like, even losing 10 speed to put health mods on there, probably better off, right? That's just the way I am. Like, I don't think there's many characters I have who kind of switch between health, offense and protection quite like that. Oh, 1 second, guys. 1 second. It's alright, Char. It's okay, Charlie. It's okay. It's okay. Do you want the rest of it? Okay. All right. But yeah, I would argue that you don't want to go crazy with like the speed here, right? Like, it's okay to go with health primaries. So then after Queen Amidala, let me go back up here, see what you were saying we want to do. So, do you have a plan after this? You're filling holes before going for your next GL, which will be Leia. Marin, Grievous, Zori needs love. Shard farming, stab, and back. Okay, so if you're going for Leia, and you have the gear saved for Jar Jar, so do you have Gungans ready? Okay, Gungans are ready. Cool. So yeah, I mean, I don't know that I have any complaints about where you're at. I think the only thing I would tell you is don't go crazy with your Gungan relics. Like, I would get Leia. I think your GP at 8, like, if you guys can still hear me loud enough, at 8.3 million galactic power, you're probably at that point where you and your guild are going to benefit more from getting another galactic legend than necessarily having Relic 7 or Relic 8 Gungans. I don't hate the filling holes. I don't hate that at all. I'm just looking to see, you said you're going for the Stap and Grievous. So what do the Separatists look like here? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm fine with that. Definitely make... The only thing I'm going to say with Grievous is that you need to be prepared for a pretty large Zeta investment here, because Grievous needs both of his Zetas. B1 needs a Zeta, Droideka does, and B2 needs one. Magna Guards can live without, but we definitely are going to need those. And then you said Qui-Gon. I mean, I don't hate the Omicron Qui-Gon shout. Like, oh, you got Master Qui-Gon too. Holy crap. That's insane. But yeah, if you get the Qui-Gon Omicron, you could do Jedi Knight Anakin, Qui-Gon. I mean, you've got Plo Koon. Mace is decent in that. Like, Mace is pretty good in that team. Obviously, Kaidi Mundi is the best option in that team. But there's still other ways to make that click. So yeah, I like this a lot, actually. Like, I think you again have a lot of different ways to go, and you've got some very good, like, high level teams like Queen Amidala, you know, your GLs, getting, you know, your Inquisitors up and running, getting the Gungans. Like, you'll notice some big leaps and bounds in this account. Also, I'm just gonna forewarn, we have like massive thunderstorms near me, so if like all of a sudden I cut out, it's just because we lost power. Which, if we lose power, I'm so screwed. Oh, excuse me. All right, so 5 shards of Mundi. That's insane. I just can't get over the fact that people, like, I understand kind of how it can happen. I just can't wrap my head around not having like a 7-star Kaidi Mundi. Again, like I said, I can understand it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I can understand it. I just can't wrap my head around it. So we're going to scroll back up here to... Gosh, we got a lot of scrolling to do. There's Dank Ideals. All right, next we have Andrew Bradshaw, I think was the next channel member we've got going on in here. So let's copy that over. All right. Oops. There we go. All right, so we've got Andrew Bradshaw here on the Soul Sister account. So what are we thinking, Andrew? What do we got? What do we got cooking in the kitchen? So SLKR, still no ult on SLKR. Okay. So what's the what are our next? What are we thinking next, or do you not have a next plan yet? So we have rebels, a lot of rebels. So Andrew, what are you? I'm just waiting to see. I didn't see anything. And if I might have just missed it when I was trying to scroll back through. But what are we thinking here? Gas and Jedi Knight Luke. Okay, so where are we at with Separatists? Okay, so we bought the Separatist bundle. That's solid. That's solid. Okay, so you need Padme, Ahsoka, General Kenobi. So you should be able to probably do so you should be able to do your what's it called now? Like, you should be able to get through gas tier 1 at this point, I think. I think that should be fine. So you should be able to get through that. So the only thing I'll say is, if you're going for General Skywalker, are you gonna relic your 501st first? That's just kind of that, like, you know, I know it's a hard question because it's a lot of gear, it's a lot of Zetas, but I feel like if you're gonna get General Skywalker, you can't skimp out on that 501st first. So that's definitely something I would do. And then you said Jedi Knight Luke after that, which I don't hate at all. And you've got the CLS here, 3PO and Chewie there. Okay, so we're closing in on the CLS team. You've got it more so done than not. Old Ben's done. Let's see. So you need Rolo and Captain Han. And are you going Jedi Knight Luke into Jabba or Jedi Knight Luke into Jedi Master Luke? Because that's definitely a big, you know, question of which one are you going to, like, what order you're going in next. Because I'm just trying to figure out if... Yeah, so Hut Cartel probably doesn't make enough sense for you as it is to go for maybe Jedi Master Luke, just based on what I see here. I mean, you still have a lot of shard farming left to do, but it's not impossible, right? I mean, we'll get it done. So I think your big areas of focus now are, like, what I would do, just looking at, like, your General Skywalker, I would at least get a Relic Padme, right? It's like I would Relic Padme, and then you have Relic Padme, Ahsoka, GK, and then you have the option, like, Jedi Knight Anakin can go in that team for a while. You know, Plo Koon, Shaak Ti, both decent enough characters to throw in there. So, like, I don't hate that at all. So yeah, I think I would definitely do the Relic Padme, and then if you are gonna go for, like, the Separatist droids, just make sure we Relic Grievous. That's kind of he is a pseudo requirement inside of that General Skywalker team, especially because you've got the gear invested on these guys. I feel like we've got to get General Grievous. He's so good. You've got the Zetas there already. Looks like you've got health mods on him already, which is awesome. So yeah, I would just I would go for General Grievous, get your Padme teams, get those things, and then we kind of move on to 5-0 first, move on to JML that way. That'd be my plan. And then ships wise, I think you're in pretty good shape ships wise, because I know you have Executor. Definitely get Hyena Bomber. Definitely get this thing. We got to get that up and running. You need that Separatist fleet like firing on all cylinders because it's so cheap. So get the Separatist fleet, get the Malevolence. That's going to be a big thing. I think you're probably getting that now, which is good. So yeah. Otherwise, man, good stuff. Good stuff, my friend. Okay, nice. Yeah, 3PO, Padme, love it. Get those things out of the way. I think that works out really, really well. All right, we are scrolling back up, guys. Sorry, we got to catch up on everything. So there was Andrew, P.S. Oakley. All right, we got Glue next, and then we still have some super chats waiting in the wings. Don't worry, guys. I knew this would happen. We're just catching up for lost time here. I freaking love this account name so much. We've got Hey, would you blow me? Just finished Rey and Kylo Lightspeed bundles and JML. Now working on Executor. Once I get that, my plan is to clean up some of my Gear 12 tunes and Zetas for Lightspeed bundles. Following this, what should be my next big farm? Thinking Leia or Inquisitors because my guild is starting Rise of the Empire. Okay, so let's take a look at what your Gear 12 characters are. So Traya, Padme, Savage, Captain Rex, Thrawn, Beskar Mando. Wow, okay. Geez, so we've got a ton. We got a ton of Gear 12s here. Okay. And I'm assuming you're in a massive Zeta crunch, correct? So, yeah, I mean, if you're in a Zeta crunch, it's going to make more sense to invest your relic resources into characters that we have Zetas on now. So characters like Savage, Captain Rex, I think Traya, she would be one, Padme, you know, even Zam, right? Those would be really, really good uses of that. I mean, I wouldn't mind if you said you were going to build the Traya team, even though, it doesn't help you towards anything else. But you've got some decent stuff invested there. Then you said Inquisitor, so let's just see what these guys look like. So yeah, and this is kind of this kind of comes back to, like, you're going to need a ton of Zetas for Inquisitors. And you need a ton of Zetas for Leia, right? Like, you've got the one on Captain Rex. So you need some for Drogon. You need the one for Leia for Rebel Officer, Leia Organa, to get through the event. You need them both on R2-D2 for the Leia team to really be effective. So, I would say avoid any extra Zetas right now. Like, I would just completely avoid Zetas. I don't think you can afford to expend any Zetas that aren't on teams like Inquisitors, Leia, whatever it is. I think you've just got to kind of, like, pull back on that and wait a little bit. I think, like, and that's why I was kind of looking at that Traya team, because you've invested, Traya, Savage, and even Padme, like, you've invested a good bit of resources there in terms of your Zetas. So just match it with your gear, because you have, Padme, Jedi Knight Anakin, General Kenobi, Ahsoka, you got Snips already. Like, you can make a decent team there, and you can even take Jedi Knight Anakin out of that team to put with Qui-Gon if you want to put the Omicron on him. So I think that's kind of the direction I would head, is looking for these kind of upgrades. Like even Mace Windu would be a solid one, where I've invested the Zetas. It's time to match my gear. Because you did just do 3 GLs in probably what was a short period of time in terms of the Zetas and everything. Like all of them Zetaed, they've got their ultimates. Like I don't know if a farm like Leia makes more sense or just going after the Inquisitors, because with Leia, there's going to be more Zeta. There's probably a similar amount of Zeta outlay between Leia and Inquisitors, based on like Reva needs 3, GI needs 3, which basically makes up for Leia's Zetas. But the other side of that is Inquisitors also do give you some things that otherwise maybe Leia doesn't. Because Leia, as good as she is, like there's not many pilots you're upgrading there that are like useful pilots, whereas with Inquisitors you get the Scythe and you get the TIE Interceptor, which are awesome. So yeah, I think if I was you, I would probably hold off doing any Zetas that aren't going to go towards Inquisitors or your next GL farm, and then just kind of gear up the Savage, the Traya, characters like that. Yeah, 3 GLs this year is crazy. Like that is a insane rate of return, and to have all 6 Zetas on each of them is very impressive. Like that's really, really good. Like I need you to realize how good that is. Like that is very, very good. I also do like that you kind of like the way that your Zetas are spread out. I'm not seeing a lot of ones that I would consider to be wasted. Like I'm a big fan of a lot of the Zetas that you do have equipped. You know, they're all ones that I feel are more or less solid. Excuse me. Sorry, I don't mean to be yawning like this as much, guys. Just normally I'm like passing out right now. I'm not gonna lie, I've been falling asleep so early. But yeah, I like it, man. I think if you do just want to kind of, I think you hold off on the Zetas, work on those characters that are gear 12 with the Zetas, and then you kind of can catch up between the gear and the Zeta crunch. You're never gonna make the progress on the Zeta crunch like you feel like you need to, but you can at least match your gear and Zeta crunch together. And then it's a like for like, where you don't have a surplus of one and not the other. Because I'll be perfectly honest, like where I am, I'm completely out of signal data. Like I do not have the signal data to make the upgrades that I want to make. So that's been a very hard kind of trying to balance that with everything else I have to do. All right, so we got the glue. All right, so next is Swiftblade with the $4.99, my friend. Swiftblade, good to see you, buddy. Let's go here, right? Is that the first one? Yeah, because we got Dank already, so now we're down to Swift. All right. Should I work on raid characters or Leia first? Also, glad to see you in the same alliance. Yeah, man, Sigma's it. Sigma is honestly one of the, like, I love this alliance. Sigma's been a hell of a home. Oh, my wife gets less sleep than I do, Allie. My wife gets way less sleep than I do. Because I will just sleep through the night. Like, okay, before I get into this roster review, like I'm going to get canceled for saying this, but it's so true. When we first had Harper, I would look at my wife in the morning and be like, yeah, she slept through the night. And she would just look at me with like lasers in her eyes and be like, she was up for 3 hours straight and you were just sitting there snoring. Like, I just don't wake up. It's a problem. Like, there are very few things that will actually wake me up in the middle of the night. I'm a very sound sleeper. It's a problem. Anyway. All right, so we've got Swiftblade. After that sidebar where I'm going to get canceled for being a terrible person. Should I work on raid characters or Leia first? So, yeah. I mean, so no, I don't want you to rush Ahsoka yet. Only because we don't know what the requirements are. Based on your account size. So what, I mean, I'm not trying to be, where the hell are your Gungans? I would definitely say you need to get those Gungans. I don't know what you're doing. We need the Gungans, man. Like, for 11 million, I would expect to see Gungans. Raid characters. So, yeah, this is where I'd say... I get that you hate the Gungans, but, like... I mean, I don't know. I hate paying taxes, but guess what I still do every year? Pay taxes. Like, I mean, like, I don't know how else to say that. Like, that's the best example. Like, I pay my taxes. Like, I hate paying them. I don't know what the hell they go to. And after the debate earlier this week, I'm not sure I want to know anymore. Anyway, I definitely think you should get Gungans. For an account of your size, I think Gungans are a big thing. I do like the progress you have towards the raid in terms of, like, Mace Windu has really good relics. Kaidi Mundi has good relics. Shaak Ti, Grandmaster Yoda. Like, you've got some very good relics there that you can make a good, like, Galactic Republic Jedi team. At least, like, with those 4. Where you start running into, or 5. 1, 2, 3. That's only 4. Yeah, like I would probably say you're behind where you should be with the Gungans. I don't hate you building more raid teams. I just, where I think you're gonna run into problems is, like, you go from, you know, just Relic 8, Relic 7, Relic 7, Relic 8, down to Relic 3s. So you'd need to start bumping some guys up to Relic 5 before you can get those extra Galactic Republic Jedi teams, because Kaidi Mundi's one of them. Took the account out of retirement, so no Gungans. Okay, alright. That's the price we pay. That's the price we pay. Yeah, I mean, I would still farm the shards for Gungans as much as you can. But yeah, otherwise, I would at least get your Qui-Gon to Relic 5 before the raid, and then just kind of wait and see what's going there. Or kind of looking at your Separatists, you've got some very good relics here between Newt, Droideka, B1, B2, Magna Guard. Stap would be a very good addition to this account. Stap is a very easy farm. It's in the Cantina. You could probably stomach the Stap here. And then you said, I think you said Leia, right? We don't have GL Leia yet. So we need to finish off our Captain Rex. And where is Drogon? Is Drogon done? Drogon is almost done. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate trying to grab Leia. I think Leia would be a very smart play on this account. Again, you're around my galactic power with this account, so, like, me recommending Jar Jar, recommending Leia is coming from somebody that could potentially, I mean, I don't know what I'm just looking at your GAC rank real quick, not trying to judge, like, with that galactic power, I was competing at the place I am now, and I think you just need to kind of add, I think adding Leia, adding a character like Jar Jar could be very good. And then just looking towards the bottom of your account, you do have a lot of relics here that are, I mean, they're solid, right? Like, it's not like they're, you know, but even potentially looking at, like, your Imperial Super Commando and Gar Saxon, like, those 2 relics have been really good for me. But I think if you bump some stuff up for the raid, it's probably not an awful idea, especially if it's good, right? Especially if they're, like, good characters for the raid. And then ships-wise, so you do not have Leviathan yet. How close are you to Leviathan? Are we just waiting on the event? Like, all those are done. What's the, oops. Yeah, are you just waiting on the event then? I'm just trying. Like, is that all we need? Because if so, man, I mean that's another good one. Okay, yeah, if you're ready for Leviathan, then I think we even focus some crystals getting that thing to 7-star, because below 7-star it definitely doesn't operate the way that it should. So, yeah, I don't hate that play at all. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I still think farming Gungans is gonna be the play no matter what, and I think for an account of this size, probably with the resources that you're gonna be earning, you can probably stomach doing refreshes on those nodes in order to get them faster. It just sucks if this account was retired at the time they were released. You've missed out on a lot of bonus drops. So if you did decide to entirely skip them, I wouldn't hate it. If you are going to entirely skip them, then get Queen Amidala, get Padawan Obi-Wan, and Master Qui-Gon. You're going to want that team big time. And then definitely go grab the Stap if you're trying to get ready for the raid. That would be my advice. All right, that was Swiftblade. Man, we're still not caught up on the super chats, and I know there's more channel members just lurking here. All right, we're up here. We got Swiftblade. All right, so next we've got Talvakad. Longtime watcher who steadily is right behind you in GP. I love it, man. I love the pressure. Wanted your opinion. Thinking raid teams Leia and then not sure. All right, man. Let's take a look. I love the guild name, by the way. Wampa Noms. 11 million GP. A bunch of you guys are getting up here, man. All right, so let's just see where you are with Leia first. So Drogon is relict. Lobot's relict. Where is Captain Rex is almost done. Okay, so you're in the relic level stage for Leia. Yeah, I mean, if you're that close to Leia, I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably just get her if it's relic levels. Only because she's that good. I think that's a big part. Is just, I think you just gotta get her when you're like 21 relic levels away. Similar to what I was saying to like DRX on his account, where like you want to go for Jedi Master Kenobi, you want to get the Gungans, but if you're that, like he was 2 relics off of Rey, it doesn't make sense to just sit that close to a galactic legend, and that's kind of where you are with Leia. Like you're this close, you may as well just see it the rest of the way. So I think Leia makes a ton of sense. I very much like that. I think Leia's, yeah. So then let's get into your Galactic Republic here. So Queen Amidala is gear 12, okay. Kylie Wendy is relic 3, Qui-Gon relic 5, Grandmaster Yoda. Okay, so man, you do have a lot of GP, but no Kenobi and no Leia, and you did not have Profundity either. Do you have, I'm just looking real quick because I'm curious now. You do have Leviathan, just not 7-star. Okay. So I'm just looking raid team wise. So definitely Leia first before your raid teams. The reason I say that is I'm just looking across the board at, like, you've got Kelleran Beck relic 7, Mace Windu relic 5, Shock T relic 6, Grandmaster Yoda relic 5, Kylie Mundi relic 3. You don't really have enough Galactic Republic Jedi at that relic 7 level where you could make 2 different teams at that level, like a relic 7 team and a relic 3 team. So I think trying to get Leia first and then kind of focusing maybe in this range would be really solid for your account. Separatist wise, man, you're cooking here. You're cooking here with Separatists between like Stapp is knocking on the door at gear 12. Like that's a very good. So I would say first definitely Leia, and then we can kind of worry about the Stapp. But Stapp would be immediately after Leia. I think I would get Stapp. I feel like that makes the most sense. Like get Leia and get the Stapp, because you have General Grievous, you've got the Separatist droids to take advantage of that that character. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I know. One minute. But yeah, I think you're this close to completing that. Do you want some more, sweetheart? Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, give me 1 second. I gotta make her another bottle here. Yes, okay, it's on now. Alright. We are back. So, to get back into this review, I think that going for Leia is still best. And then I think getting the Stap is best because you have everything else for the Stap. I would say the only thing that I would be questioning next is with your Galactic Republic, it almost would make sense to go after Jedi Master Kenobi because you have Commander Tano, you have Padme, you have Snips, General Kenobi. Working on Jedi Master Kenobi would not be a terrible shout at this point, particularly with I think that could really help you not only get raid ready, but also give you a character that you kind of have the rest of the pieces for, give you another very good galactic legend. I think this raid is going to be everybody's excuse to farm Kenobi, and I think that could be a very, very wise decision for a lot of people. So that would kind of be my advice, because otherwise you have like a very good Galactic Republic, group built up here. So, I don't hate that idea at all. Because I'm not judging, not trying to be, that guy. At 11 million galactic power, you could probably use some more GLs, and that's kind of why I'm trending towards Leia and Kenobi. Profundity is also a very good shout. I think the only thing with Profundity that I would potentially wait on is, like, you think last year we got, Leia, and we also got Leviathan, so we're getting GL Ahsoka. Do we get another capital ship at some point, and what does that look like? That's my only hesitation on going crazy with Profundity. But the one thing about Profundity is it is the best low-star capital ship. That comparative to Executor and comparative to the Leviathan, the Profundity at 4 stars is definitely superior. So yeah, if you wanted to go Profundity, I wouldn't hate it. I just think at your galactic power, probably getting Jedi Master Kenobi before Leviathan would be more helpful. But apologize, I had to break up your review there in a couple of parts. But when the little one gets hungry, streams go south very, very quickly. All right, I gotta scroll back up here, see where we're at next. All right, so there we got. All right, we got that one. So now we're scrolling down. Gotta see. Dank, we got you already. All right, so Legolas, I'm gonna come back to yours because we're gonna get to Andrew Thetford next with the $5. So let's grab you, my friend. All right, so another pretty decent account here. So working towards Mando Mommy Bo. I freaking love that. That's hilarious. Mando Mommy Bo. That is classic. Jar Jar ready. Finish General Skywalker event, but not unlocked. Gas and 501st for Zepho Guild is close, or GL Leia. Ooh, good question. Okay, so let's go to your... So, 501st. So here's the thing, right? Just the thing about this with Zepho. You need 5 clones at Relic 7. So, like, Captain Rex, 5s, Rex, Echo, ARC Trooper, they all have to be Relic 7. They're all gonna want their Zetas. So I'm not trying to, like, I love this shout for Zepho. I'm a huge Zepho believer. But I can't sit here and say that you're gonna be like, how do I say this? I think that if you want to go Zepho, it's a much greater investment because you're looking at 5 Relic 7 clones and then going after a Relic 7 General Skywalker on top of that with all of the Zetas. So it's one of those situations where you really have to be committed to Zepho for that. And not that Zepho, don't get me wrong, not that Zepho is not good, but it's a bonus mission on Zepho, so it's not like it's just guild event currency too. It's just extra Kyrotech. It's not like it's a combat mission where you're gonna earn additional territory points to get your guild, you know, those other Kyrotech or other rewards. So that's kind of why the Relic 7 clones is nice, but if you're in the need for you know, signal data for characters like your Gungans and your Mandalorians, maybe better to kind of wait on Zepho a bit, especially with this raid going on. You're gonna want to have, I have a feeling with this raid and GL Ahsoka coming and whatever else could be coming kind of down the pipeline, I feel like it's going to be a much smarter decision to kind of hang on to that stuff and wait and see how everything pans out before pulling the trigger on something. And that's kind of why I encourage people, like with Ahsoka, I'm not going to encourage anybody to rush after that. We don't know how good she is. We don't know what the requirements are. You know, we just know that it's snips at Relic 9. But, like, we know how good Bo-Katan Mandalore is, right? We know how good she is. We know she helps unlock the bonus zone of Mandalore. Like, she's a very good character. It's kind of why I like your Mandalorian shout there. And then you said GL Leia as well. Let's just take a look at GL Leia. Okay, so you need to Relic Lobot. And then your... Let's see, Relic 7. Okay, so Chupio would need to be Relic 7. Captain Rex needs to get bumped up. And where's Captain Drogon at? Am I missing Drogon? So you do not have Drogon yet, right? Or am I just like... Yeah, I don't see Drogon anywhere. No Drogon is definitely concerning from the Cantina perspective because it's going to limit the amount of signal data you can earn because he's on a Cantina node. He's at 5. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's going to be tough. You're going to have it's not going to be a fun little bit here because you're going to be doing a lot of Cantina stuff between the signal data you need and Drogon too, because he is on a high energy node, although I think he's accelerated now. So that might be your saving grace, is that he's accelerated. But yeah, so to go back up here and kind of really answer this question, unlike both candidates during their debate, I think if you're going between, I think your question was going between Das 501st or Leia. I think Leia is the smarter option, simply based on the fact that Clone Troopers, just for the sake of Zepho, is not a... I don't want to say it's not a good investment, but it's a much better investment to get Cal and Bo-Katan than it is to build clones for that specific mission. Not that you don't get good rewards, but they're not nearly on the level that the rewards for the planet are. And that's kind of... I think that's kind of what's weighing on my decision. And especially, like, you're almost 9 million galactic power, you know, you still have a lot of life left to get in this account. So, you know, going and doing something like the Relic 7 clones could have some down the road effects that you may or may not be prepared for to happen. So, just something to kind of think about. That it's not I love your enthusiasm to go help your guild, but I don't know that will help your guild as much as you think it will, because you kind of need the entire guild to buy into those special missions and everybody work towards one, because otherwise it's just one person getting 50 extra guild event currency too, which isn't really helping anyone. You know, you kind of need everybody or nothing. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at that. All right, so hopefully that gives you, Andrew, hopefully that gives you a little bit of kind of guideline into like I'd pause on the clone Zepho and go after those GLs. I think the GL will benefit you in GAC, territory wars, territory battles, you know, conquest, you know, the stupid scam that is Endor escalation tier 2. So that's kind of where my mind's at. You guys just give me one sec here. All right, so I think that's through all of the super chats. I think we hit all the super chats. So I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss any. I'm trying to scroll up here. So we got, I think before Andrew's super chat, let's scroll up a bit, was Justin. Okay, Justin, what account is this? Oops, that's not the tab I wanted to hit. Mods, whenever you get possible, I want to see your mods for Reva, Going, Executor, Leia, Starkiller, Jabba. Okay, let's see Reva's mods here. I like that a lot. Health, offense, defense, speed. Whoops. This one has had way more potential. This one had a lot more potential. The 4 rolls on crit chance is brutal. I mean, it's got the right stats, but like 4 rolls on crit chance just kills a lot of that mod's potential without slicing materials. I like this one a lot. That's a very good mod. I've seen this one. I know that's a brilliant mod. Not entirely sold on this one, only because it's little slow for her. And then obviously that's it's a good mod. My only issue is it's not health percent. I think she's a much better health, kind of modded for health than offense. That's just, again, one man's very, you know, humble and as educated, uneducated of opinion, whatever you want to call it, on Swago is. And then, yeah, I mean, otherwise, I mean, the direction you have on this account is just absurd. Going back up here, yeah, like going Executor, Leia, Starkiller, Jabba, I mean, it makes sense. It's kind of the direction I think you should be heading in with an account. Yeah, I have no qualms about that at all. Yeah, and you're even like closer to Star. I mean, it's just gear for Starkiller 2s, which is super, super nice. But yeah, dude, I mean, again, every account you have just continues to amaze me as to the total quality inside of it. So yeah, man. Well, very, very, very well done. Very, very well done, as always. All right, we're gonna scroll back up here to, let's see. I'm just going through, guys. I gotta check the channel member ones first. It's okay, sweetheart. It's okay. Shh. All right, I see Allie. Got Allie in here. Oops. Sorry, I got too far away from the computer monitor to see clearly. My eyesight's letting me down in my old age. All right, Allie, where are we at here? We're 6.3. It's okay, beautiful. Do you want some milky? No. You told me. All right, Allie's. So Allie, what are we thinking here? Wampa princess. Yeah, I do. It's funny. So my oldest Harper, I would always call her princess, and then I said, I asked her if she wanted to get called princess or Wampa. So Harper gets to get called princess, and Charlie is little Wampa. It's okay. It's okay. Daddy's here. There you go. Just close your eyes, beautiful. So you're working on Rey, then Leia. All right. So we're a Relic 7. We need Relic 7 on BB-8, Relic 7 on Scavenger Rey. Zori Bliss is already Relic. Beautiful. For an Omicron, I would go Zori. I feel like Zori's Omicron is just, it's so good. That's a no-brainer Omicron for me. Zeta perspective, I'd hold on because you're gonna need them for Rey. So I don't know that it's gonna make sense for you to spend any more Zetas. I feel like you just start saving those for Galactic Legends Rey at this point. So yeah, you said you're getting Rey and then you're gonna go for Leia. So let's see where we're at with Leia. So we just need a good bit of gear there. Scout Trooper. Nisa. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not hating any of that. Now, when do you get... I mean, I'm still going to tell you to get Rey regardless. When do you plan on getting Ben Solo? Because Ben Solo will be a big, it's going to be a big, you know, I don't want to say part of this, but Ben Solo is a huge addition to that Rey squad. Do you have like a timeline of when you think you're going to get him? Are you able to earn those shards? Cause, excuse me, both Ben and Commander Tana will very much help your Rey team. Slowly working on him, want him as soon as possible. Yeah, I mean, if there's anything you can do to speed him up between the Galactic Legend tickets, you know, anything you can do can help. But I definitely still think Rey has to be the play here. You're that close to her. And then I don't hate the Leia shout at all. Looks like you have a few Galactic Republic Jedi, excuse me, to use in the upcoming raid. One thing, you know you're going to get, I don't want to say yelled at, but you're getting reprimanded for it. You've got a missing, like, you can't have this missing piece. You just got to equip that. Like, you've done 90% of the work there. We just need to finish that off. That's definitely one of my big pet peeves is you can't, I get that the finisher piece has the Kyrotech, but like, it makes, to me, you're basically, it's not a waste of gear, but it's literally doing nothing for you. Like a Gear 12 Grandmaster Yoda doesn't do a whole lot. So I would just potentially think about moving him up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I get it. The chirotecs are... It's more so that when you equip gear like this, you've kind of, like... The problem is when you have a character like Grandmaster Yoda there with that spread of gear is, let's say you're going for another character and they need the gear that Master Yoda does. I mean, say you unlock Ben Solo and your Grandmaster Yoda is still sitting here at Gear 12, like, all that gear could have gone to somebody else. Yeah, I mean, I get it, Ali. Trust me, I get the chirotech bottleneck for a lot of you. Trust me, I fully understand it. I was there before it was as easy as it is now. I think the biggest thing I would say though is we've just gotta you wanna hang on to that gear. Like, I wouldn't have equipped it to Yoda, even though you don't have the chirotech. Like, I don't equip any Gear 12 gear until I take a character to relic levels now. And I can't tell you for how long that's been the case. Otherwise, I don't hate the direction you're going in. Excuse me. I know you've been doing, I know you've been doing a lot of catch up on your Lightspeed bundles, and I can see, like, the Zori, so you are making smart decisions. Like, it's not like you did anything wrong to be in this chirotech situation. Like, you've invested everything where it should go and made good moves. You know, like Starkiller and, you know, Zori, like, those are good upgrades that make a lot of sense. You know, Darth Talon's very good. You know, that's the kind of stuff that I think makes a big difference in an account. And I think you have bought a couple of the Lightspeed bundles, which has definitely helped this account size grow. I'm sure you're just in a massive bottleneck with mods right now, like everybody is. So that's definitely something just to keep an eye out for. Oh, excuse me. I'm here to peer pressure a lot. I'm sure many people are ready for that peer pressure. All right, I'm just trying to make sure I'm scrolling back up. Okay, I think I got, okay, there's Ali's, going back down. All right, so Angel David, Fat Phil, I stopped playing the game like a month ago. It felt like a chore. The guild, missions, GAC, and Conquest every single day. Felt like I spent too much time in it. Any advice? Yes, so I mean, that's kind of why I, you know, had made that, hey, you know, here's the ways to stop burnout. So I think a big thing there, Angel, is just find the areas where you were spending too much time and just kind of pull back. So if you're spending a ton of time on Conquest, auto it. Maybe you don't push for max crate, right? Maybe you just kind of go for box 6 and leave it at that, or box 5, whatever the case is. You know, the next thing to think about is like GAC. Maybe just drop down a little bit. Don't feel like you need to compete inside of, you know, the highest levels of Kyber, you know, trying to get there. Maybe you just kind of take a break from it. I can tell you that since I've taken a less serious approach to GAC, I don't really notice a change in my win-loss ratio. But I notice a change in my overall enjoyment with the game. Excuse me. You know, other things like with your guild and stuff like that. Guilds can be challenging because, again, there are 49 other players in that guild who are depending on you to, you know, quote unquote, like, pull your fair share, right? So I can kind of understand the pressure there, and that's one that I feel like you'll probably never lose. The only other thing I would say is that, like, if it just got to that point, don't feel like you need to come back. I mean, it took me over a year and a half to come back to this game, from, like, the first time I truly quit. So I get it. You know, it is a tough decision, but if you are feeling that way and you just don't see the end of it, then yeah, it's time to hang it up. That was part of the reason I gave up my free-to-play account. I just felt like I was constantly logging into the game, doing this, doing that. And, you know, that kind of gave me some of the freedom on the account, you know, on my main account, that I was like, you know what? I really don't know if I need to be pushing this hard in Grand Arena. Like, you know, if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. But the most important part is that you're enjoying it. And if that enjoyment's gone, then there's no purpose to play. Like, you don't play video games to get pissed off. Even though that is exactly, you know, what Call of Duty was back in the day, you know, especially before they nerfed the models in Modern Warfare 2. Shout out to those of you who remember that. But yeah, you know, I think if you're not enjoying it, man, just hang it up. It's not worth the headache. You know, I don't put this on my resume. Hey, guess what, guys? I played a mobile Star Wars game. Like, the first question those guys are gonna ask is, well, when do you play it? You know, this isn't something that goes on a resume. You know, it's a fun game that we play, and when it's no longer fun, then it's probably time just to hang it up. And, you know, I have no shame in saying that. So yeah, man, I know that's probably not the advice that people come here for of, oh, Phil's saying, like, you know, that you don't have to play. Like, just saying, when it becomes more of a chore than, you know, enjoyment, it's time to hang up the boots. Allie, I haven't played PvP in video games since GoldenEye. Oh, gosh. Man, the things I said in Call of Duty lobbies are listed under the Geneva Suggestions, as I like to call them, for just being a complete, I mean, we were out of control. My friends and I were out of control. We would not survive today's lobby. Like, kids today would not survive the lobbies that I had to go through. The amount of boys who claimed that they, had relations with my mother was off the charts. You would have thought that it was half of the continental United States. Different time. The good old days. Alright, so I think I feel like there's some more, I know there's some more channel members to get to on that side tangent, sorry. Scroll up here. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, we read Angels. We're going back down here. Next is Vince V. Getting home from the Orioles game and figured you'd jump on. There you go, man. Hopefully the game went decently well. I don't follow enough baseball to have a good, you know, diss or whatever about the Orioles. Alright, so Vince, what are we thinking to do with the account here? So we've got JML, Lord Vader, Kylo Ray, Kenobi. So we're missing Leia, we're missing Sith Eternal, and we're missing Jabba. Oh, so you just unlocked Sith Eternal. You don't know where to go from here. All right, well, let's see if we can maybe help with that. So So you are definitely closer to Leia than you are Jabba. Cause I'm just looking here, like Captain Rex is done, Drogon's almost done, like 7-star that is. I feel like, and you have a lot of the other things here ready to go. I feel like Leia makes the most logical sense for this in terms of like what you're closest to. Yeah. I definitely think that's the direction that I would head in. I think the only, yeah, I feel like you said you need to go for Levi? Okay, yeah, I mean, how would I say this? I still think you're probably, I mean, you could probably go for Leviathan. I'm just looking. How close are you to? I feel like you're probably closer to Leviathan than you are Leia. I could be wrong, but you have both Relic 9s out of the way. What about the, like, actual ships-wise? Yeah, okay, so you still have a lot of shard farming to do there. Yeah, maybe I would get Leia first if you're still having to farm Mark 6 Interceptor shards. Because it's not even, you still have over at least 101 to go, if not more. So, yeah, I think, I feel like Leia is going to be your play here. Not that Leviathan isn't good, but we're too far off to push Leia back to try and get this earlier. It's kind of the way I'm viewing it. Who's my favorite soccer team? Oh, I mean, club team, it's Chelsea. So I got to see them when I was in the UK. I took a day trip down to London to see Chelsea play their final game of the season, and it was awesome. One of the best experiences. Yeah, Chelsea. See, Wombat knows it's Chelsea till I die. Yeah, so Vince, here's kind of the thing just to like bear in mind is that like as you get later and later in the game, you just end up with less and less to farm. So you just kind of have to make those, I don't want to say harder decisions, but like I haven't done an easy farm in forever because everything that I farm is new. You know what I mean? Like everything's Kyrotech or Relic 7 or Relic 9 that like, you know, there's no longer easy decisions anymore. It's all hard. But that's kind of the benefit of being at that galactic power is that you have everything else from all the other work that you've put into the game. So, you know, like, I don't hate... I feel like Leia makes... Of all the stuff you've shown me, I feel like Leia makes the most sense. Since she was what you're closest to. That's just kind of my thought process. So let me see. I think I caught up on all the like channel members. And guys, if you're wondering, like the channel members, they have their name in green. That's how I'm able, at least on my end, that's how I'm able to tell that they're a channel member. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but if the name isn't green, then like I'm probably missing it at the moment. Trying to see, did I miss anybody else in green? So I think I caught up that way. Give me 1 second here, guys. Sorry, wife just got home from the wedding, so we're just trying to organize when to move over the sleeping baby. Yeah, the Wampa head is reserved. You gotta be, I forget how long it was before I think I made them. I don't know if there was a Wampa head or not. Oof. Yeah, but each one of the little like emblems is how long you've been a channel member. So like the longer you've been on, you get a different emblem. I set them up a while ago. I don't know what they are anymore. So just give me a sec here, guys, while I wait on transferring this one before we do anything else. But so while we're here, kind of just some like thoughts on, I have a video coming out on like Ahsoka, like GL Ahsoka, and like spoiler, I'm kind of torn. I feel like the timing is very poor. It feels like they, how do I say this? I feel like their release of the information for GL Ahsoka was coming after the raid, but before it's here. I don't know. It feels like they were really trying to like stick that knife and twist it a little bit. I'm very glad we're getting another Galactic Legend for the sake that like it means the game's gonna continue going. But I can't say that I'm overly excited to add another character of a Galactic Legend status into SWGO when I think of the Grand Arena board as it is. We're gonna have 9 GLs. Like, it's just, crazy. The one thing I don't know if I mentioned it in the video, but I'm definitely gonna say it here. I think that GL Ahsoka is gonna be the like hard counter to Leia. That I feel like she's going to be that one very consistent, easy counter to Leia from a Galactic Legend standpoint. Because I don't know that she quite has one that I would label easy. There, certain ones with Datacrons are easier, but I don't know that she necessarily has an easy counter to her in 5v5. I don't think I've ever really felt that way. See, Vince, I don't hate the, like, increase the board in Kyber, but at the same time, like, I don't want to have to spend more time in GAC. Like, that's kind of the problem, is that, like, I don't want to have to spend even more time in Grand Arena trying to get through extra teams. You know, like, I just don't know that that's a realistic expectations for us. And if it is, I mean, then I don't know what they're doing, but, like, I don't want to spend any more time than I do on GAC. Because it's just, I mean, it's a lot of time. You're putting a lot of time into Grand Arena. I need 11 GLs for my defense. You and Egnards would get along very, very well. Egnards is also a big time turtle. He just says, he's like, I just sit behind everything and let them do their thing. Yeah, I've honestly been giving a lot of consideration into ditching GAC for a little bit and focusing territory wars, and I just can't bring myself to do it. I mean, I think there's other things that they could do, like, hey, all light side, all dark side, GLs, no GLs, but the problem is, how many people are going to complain that they just farmed Sith Eternal and now they can't use them this round of GAC because it's light side only, and, you know, like, it does complicate some things that otherwise, like, wouldn't be there. I do not want an extra fleet for defense either. Like, there's, again, 3 fleets, offense, 3 fleets, defense, it's plenty, you know. Because you start digging into that bag and very quickly you start losing options. Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah. Yeah, in planet modifiers each week. Oh gosh, I would cry. What? Not since she fell asleep on me. Before that, she did. Yeah, before like we started settling down, like 7:15-ish. I'm just dying at planet modifiers. I don't know. See, but that's the problem is, like, I don't want to spend more time. Like, I already have to fight through. Like, just for perspective. There's 4, 8, 11, and then 3 fleets. Like, it's still a good bit of time. You think, even if your average fight, you know, lasts, say, 2.5 minutes for GAC, if you're gonna spend 2.5 minutes on 11 fights and 14 fights, I mean, that's a lot of time. You know, it's like it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is, because you think, and that's no downtime. That's going one to the next to the next. But you think in GAC, we're not hey, I'm gonna think about what to attack with and what do I do here and what do I do here. Like, it adding more to GAC, I don't know is the answer. I don't know that that's the answer. There's got to be a better solution. Caleb, good to see you, man. Yeah, guys, I don't know that expanding GAC, but I think with the new GL, the one thing I'll say is that I think it is going to expand our ability to do well in Rise of the Empire, because hopefully her team is good. Like, I would assume that she'll be good. But having the ability to, like, platoon or place certain things in operations, I think would be really good. So, all right, so I have stalled for a while here. So I'm gonna check. I don't know that the PC client, I don't know, has the, just look in there. There's no, so give me a moment here, guys, while I'm going to, we're just gonna close this real quick. Give me one moment while I just have to load something up here. Okay, let's start our game. There we go. I don't know how much... I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how much longer I'll be streaming. I'm hitting my... I can feel it. I'm hitting my wall. Oh, boy. Why'd you do that, Wombat? Why'd you do that? Yeah, Wombat got his... Yeah, I think... To what Wombat shared in Discord was... I'm gonna answer, and I'm answering. I have to... So basically, he was asking, should I just hoard for Ahsoka Galactic Legend? Like, I'm all ready for Jar Jar. I've got, like, the rest of the Rex, like... You know, just kind of playing for fun kind of thing. If, like, what I kind of said was, and what I kind of replied to him is that, like, I think that if your account is in a position where you're in the latter stages of the game, like his is, where you kind of are, you have that ability to, like, for me, my thought process is that I need to sort of, oops, is my game... Where is it? What is it sharing? Okay, it's sharing. Like, you need to think through what can your account realistically do in the raid to help your guild, and also make sure that you're not, like, falling behind in other areas. And, like, he's just having fun, so he's even got less pressure than myself, where I kind of have to look at it. I want to hoard for Ahsoka, but I also need to be making that progress towards other things. So, like, I will still be taking my Jar Jar to Relic 7. I'll still be taking Stap to Relic 7. I'll still be doing some other things to Relics. But just to show you guys where we're at in terms of what's involved here and the peer pressure that was applied. So my Qui-Gon is Relic 3. Otherwise, this is what my Galactic Republic Jedi kind of looks like at the moment. So nothing, I mean, what I'm really looking at here is from a signal data perspective, that's kind of what I need, right? It's just an insane amount of signal data. So, I should just make sure that I do this properly, because I think last time I was sharing some information that did not need to be shared with the general public. Daily deals, nothing of note. Yeah, so this is the one that I'm kind of looking at, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? We should probably do that. Actually, wait, hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second here, guys. Hold on. I need to go check for something. Oh, shoot, what am I doing? Okay, that's good. All right. thought, hold on, I thought I had a Google Play card. So give me 1 second here while I check something out. Let's see if this, hold on. Caleb Sullivan coming in too. Yeah, I'm just trying to see, I thought I had a Google Play card, but I'm trying to see if I can get, trying to remember if I have my, let's make sure that I'm not sharing. Okay, it's still that. Where's my, I'm trying to see if I have my, I don't know if I have my, yeah, let's flip over here, and if not, then we'll flip back over to this. Let's go here. All right, let's see if this works. I don't know if I have my thing linked or not. Nope. Okay. All right, give me one moment there, guys, while I fill in information that is not privy to other people. let me fill that out. All right, let me go here. Okay, that's perfect. All right. Do you guys see like the reload screen right now, right? You guys just see like the reload screen because I was on the web store, right? I'm just trying to protect a little bit of my personal information. Just want to make sure before I do this, because I know it was linked through my BlueStacks before, but I think all you guys can see right now is the connection lost, right? Beautiful. All right. Last name ever, first name greatest, like a sprained ankle, boy, ain't nothing to play with. All right, you guys don't need to see that I'm actually pressing play now, but it's happening. All right, so I think that should work. You guys got the start game thing now. Is Guiding Mundi going to be a requirement for GL Ahsoka? Hot take, I absolutely think he will be. In fact, I'm going to go as far as to say that I hope he is. Alright, let's see here. And there we go. Claim. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. Alright. Here we go, guys. Just boosted our GP even more. Continued whaling. Alright, is there anything I actually... I mean, outside of the fact that I just... oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. Alright, okay, you're all good to go. You need that, that, and that. And then, Caleb, don't worry, I will get to your super chat. Just let me figure out what the heck I'm gonna do with mods here. Yeah, that looks fine. That looks fine. That looks fine. That looks fine. Okay, and then I need another defense mod. Do I have any more defense mods laying around here? I think this one was protection, potency. What's this? That's fine. We'll do that. Okay. I don't want critical chance. Don't need that. That's good. And that's good. Okay. Random sets on you. You're done. And then where is... I can't believe I'm... Heath Cough. What a joke. Give you some Omegas. And then for you... let's see what we got offense mod-wise. Because I feel like it. Sort by speed. Yeah, that's fine. Don't have anything there. Those are trash. That's fine. We'll use that. And... we'll use that. That's fine. All right, let's go here. And let's do... that's fine, and that works. Okay, there we go. Garbage mods. Garbage mods work. That's okay. I think everybody's got mods now. Beautiful. Okay. Luminara's I'm actually going to work on because I will be using her to some degree. All right, we got a roster review from Caleb Sullivan here. Let's see what the code is, my friend. All right. Roasting the Gamorrean Guard. You and Old Man Logan would get along, except he's roasting Gungans. All right, Caleb. So you have Kylo and Rey, Jedi Knight Luke, Starkiller. So where are we heading next, Caleb? Looks like you've gotten not in a judgment way, a lot of the light speed bundles, which is, solid. Like, that's definitely, there's a lot of characters in here. Holy Toledo, man. Between, Yeah, wow. I love it. So where are we heading? What's the thought process, game plan, whatever you want to say? Going for Jabba. Okay. Going for Jabba. All right, so you're closing in. I mean, you're closing in there. What about total bounty hunters? How are we doing with them? Okay, yeah. So you're really closing in on Jabba. That is solid progress. Okay, so we're getting closer to Jabba. Are you gonna build? Excuse me. Are you going to build Embo as part of the Jabba team? Like after obviously after the fact. Like I would not relic Embo before you get Jabba. I would get your Jabba, but then I would definitely add Embo onto that list of like, hey, probably a good idea to get this dude. So after Jabba though, like I feel like you could go for like Jedi Master Luke. Cause like Jedi Knight Luke is a big part of that. I mean, you do need Mon Mothma, which is that could be a long farm. So that could be something to start now, is start farming for Mon Mothma if you want to kind of go the route of Jedi Master Luke. I don't hate it. I'm just trying to look and see. Yeah, I don't hate the Jedi Master Luke after Jabba approach. I'm a big fan of doing those two kind of in conjunction with each other. So here's the thing: you're extremely far from the Inquisitors, and it's again with Inquisitors, I kind of view it as it's not just about getting these guys to 7-star and Relic 5, but you've got to get then 5 of them, 4 of them to Relic 7, and then Grand Inquisitor himself to Relic 7, and then you've got to be able to unlock Reva. So what kind of leads to some of the problems that I kind of that I kind of see or point out at times is on the surface level, you're like, oh, I'm kind of close, but you're not because of all the additional resources you have to pour into this faction once you get these 5. Then you gotta go get Grand Inquisitor and then Reva, and it takes a lot. So I think the smarter decision here is probably to get JML. And I think the only reason I would go Inquisitors first is if your guild is getting a significant amount of Reva shards every single Rise of the Empire, to the point that you'll have her soon. Otherwise, I just don't think it's worth it. Not for what your account kind of needs right now. But that's just the way I kind of look at it. Now, from a ship's perspective, I mean, we've got some, I saw the top end, like, you've got some very good ships. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Lightspeed bundles helped with some of the pilot levels, but, like, some very good ships, good, making good progress. I would make sure you're constantly farming these things. I definitely think at some point you need to have that discussion with yourself on going for like a profundity. Because you have Executor, it's not quite 7-star yet, but you need to have that kind of conversation with yourself of, profundity kind of happening. And then obviously Leviathan will happen when it happens. I mean, I'm just looking at your Sith ships and we're far enough away from that it's not a pressing concern, to say the least. But yeah, man, I think overall, Caleb, like I definitely think I would hold off on the Inquisitors right now. I do love the going for Jabba. I love that shout. Going for Jedi Master Luke, I also am a big fan of. And then honestly, yeah, you definitely can go up a star level of an Executor. It's not a bad call at all. The only other thing I'd maybe consider is I think the only other thing I would consider, just again looking at your roster and where it is that like you could go for Profundity after JML and then try to maybe segue that into Leia Organa. Just kind of depending on what you want out of your account and the game. But I definitely would be ensuring you're farming shards for the characters you don't have yet. So that's kind of, I don't know. You got anything else for me, Caleb? I think it's pretty good. Like Jabba to JML, and then after that, I think it's maybe Inquisitors or maybe kind of get like Profundity up and running. Because if you do, the Profundity, then it kind of opens up the door to get Leia, which obviously is very, very good. So you guys got anything? I think I'm gonna be probably logging off here in a minute. My headphones are giving me the low battery, which is probably my sign to log off and get some sleep. But does anybody else have anything? Channel members, super chats, speak now, kind of forever hold your peace. What Zetas? Your Zetas just need to be focused on the characters you're building. Your Zetas should be focused on your Hutt Cartel characters: Leia, Chrysanthemum, Skiffguard Lando, and Jabba. I would not be equipping any other Zetas than that. I know that's probably not necessarily the answer you want to hear, but I think that's the answer that's smart. Like with what I would assume is some of the Lightspeed bundles and everything, I think your best bet is just to kind of stick the Zetas on the on the characters that you're going to be building for that next farm. So like Leia, Chrysanthemum, Lando, Jabba. I mean, you can do Grief. I think you're going to want those Zetas for other characters. His Grief has a very good Zeta. So if you did it, I'm not going to hate it. I just think you're going to want to start building that Jabba team and give them the Zetas that they need to succeed. But that's, again, just one man's very humble opinion. So, again, I try to make sure with these that I don't you are more than welcome to do whatever you want with your account, as we've seen Justin have Reva like 8 times by now. But I try to give you what I think is what I would do with it. And obviously it's hard because I can only sit here on my, throne of honor, and give you the advice of someone who your decision has 0 impact over me, but I try to do the best I can, guys. So, yeah, thank you guys for sticking around with me. I know this kind of snuck up on everybody, but appreciate all of you guys kind of sticking around. Channel members, kind of, speak now, forever hold your peace. Otherwise, I think I'm going to log off here, probably get some shut-eye, because I am beat. And I'd like to catch up with my wife on how the day went, because when she's at a wedding and I've got the children, there's, no time to talk. So, give everybody, as my coach in college used to say, in between our sets, 30 seconds to a minute kind of thing. Not a ton of other Zetas. Yeah, I mean, you can do Grief, man. I'm not saying you can't do Grief. I'm just saying, I would probably save mine for of course, Leia, Chrysanthemum, Skiffguard, and then worry about it. Yeah, Justin, I did take a look at, I think your Diamond mod for Reva, I wasn't a big fan of. I wasn't a big fan of the Diamond. I feel like it's just a bit too slow because it rolled 4 times on critical chance. And the Arrow is offense, and I would rather that be health for Reva. I think those are the big things that I saw. But yeah, if you need more than that, man, just let me know. But I think that was kind of the big stuff. Otherwise, I liked the order you were going in terms of like Jabba, SK, and, you know, Executor, all that kind of stuff. Like, I liked the order that you had listed out. I didn't have any qualms with that, particularly for what's in that account. So, again, guys, thank you for... How long do you think you're farming tickets for? It depends on how many refreshes you're doing. I normally spend into the hundreds for my GL tickets. I'm normally maxed out from the weekly shipments before I go in, and I'll buy them when they refresh. So I normally would say like 2 weeks without drops is normally a safe bet. So yeah. Yeah, 2 weeks is kind of the standard. I've done it in less time, but I think 2 weeks is probably the safest bet for most players. So thank you guys again. I love you all. May the force be with you. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends. Appreciate you all joining me on stream.